A game when it comes to pushing far right, basically Nazi tier propaganda. Yeah, let's hear what he has to say.
Term kicks off with firing Ray, firing Fauci. Now, I actually want to go a step farther, but I realize the president is a kind-hearted man and a good man. I'd actually like to go back to the old times of Tudor.
Oh yeah, this guy was a wow gold farmer. Yeah, this guy was a wow gold farmer. This guy is this guy has been everywhere. You know, this guy's all over the goddamn internet. This guy is an internet savvy gentleman. You know, whenever you're on Reddit and you're trying to have a discussion in our news or our politics, and you keep getting replied to by somebody who's copy pasting Stormfront lists of black crime statistics, that's him. That's Steve Bannon in the flesh. He's just doing that at like 15 computer screens at once. He's just constant. He's the network. He's the hive mind. They say 1/4 of 8chan was just Steve Bannon. Incredible man.
England, I'd put the heads on pikes, right? I'd put them at the two corners of the White House as a warning to federal bureaucrats. You either get with the program or you're gone.
Cool.
Time to stop playing games. Blow it all out. Put Rick Grinnell today as the interim head of the FBI. That'll light him up, right?
Now, one of the issues that I have with people like Mr. Bannon over here, one of the issues that I have is that it's very difficult for me to criticize people for being overt authoritarians when they're fine with being authoritarians. You know, that criticism generally only lands if it's something they're trying to avoid. If they're proud of it, then it doesn't really mean anything. Like, imagine it's 1937, you know, and you're a protester, and you run up to Hitler and you're screaming, "You're a fucking fascist, man!" And you know, Hitler, he looks down at you and he says, "Yeah," and that's it. That's the whole interaction. You know, he's like, "Wow, thank you, thanks. I was trying." You know, I was going for it. That's the vibe I was trying to go for, and I think I've nailed it. Thank you. I really appreciate your attention to detail. I am indeed a fascist. These criticisms, they only really work if the person is trying to adhere to some sort of veneer of respectability in a liberal society. Thankfully, Steve Bannon, he miscalculated. The video has been deleted from YouTube, this YouTube video, and he's been knocked off Twitter. I mean, I have to say, if there was ever a legitimate violation of TOS, I feel like it would probably be saying we should behead federal, federal agents and put their heads on pikes as a warning to the establishment. I feel like that might legitimately trip the TOS line. I'm okay with that personally. Is that big tech censorship? I don't know. I feel like this might be a legitimate reason to ban somebody. But it does tell you a little bit about how these true believers think about government. You have to understand, these people, will YouTube remove your video for featuring his? No. YouTube TOS doesn't work that way. YouTube TOS won't ban you for featuring a banned content. It's not Twitch, it's YouTube. If it was Twitch and he was banned from Twitch, then yes, it would work that way. Anyway, when it comes to true believers like this, it really is important to understand that they don't view the government as an apparatus whose job it is to serve the people. They view the government as an obstacle that you have to overcome to assert your will. When it comes to stuff like democracy is a tool they'll use if they feel it's useful to them, if they feel they can win in it. And that's why, by the way, that after 2016, after Hillary Clinton lost, all of the Trumpers online were such big fans of democracy. You know, you lost, Hillary. And to be honest, as a lefty, weren't we also a little bit satisfied that the DNC got trounced after having the audacity to put up Hillary Clinton? Not that that's good. Not that that's good. She was better than Trump, and I'll stand by that till the day I die, but we didn't like Hillary. But the Trumpsters were big fans of democracy back in 2016. You know, ha! The American people don't like you, sweetie. Hillary, you're done. Sorry. And now they don't give a fuck about democracy. They're out there chanting to stop the count. They're saying that faithless electors should determine the election. They'll want to do anything, absolutely anything, to win. And I just think it's important to remember for people like this. It's difficult to insult them with claims of you're an authoritarian because they know, like they're aware of that. But whenever you're talking to Republicans in the future, please God, please fucking God, never ever, for the rest of your lives until the day you die, never ever let a Trump supporter accuse you of being anti-American or undemocratic or authoritarian. Never. Literally never, never, ever. You should never let them get away with that, okay? That is the easiest retort in the fucking universe. Because now they don't even have the it's just rhetoric excuse. Sure, Trump spent the entire year leading up to the election basically admitting that he wasn't going to accept a loss should he lose. And we all knew he was being sincere when he said that because Trump has no sense of humor like most narcissists. But they would say, oh, well, that's just something he says. That's not something he does. Well, here it's happening right now. The fanatics in the Trump administration are claiming that this is a coup by the Democrats by counting all of the votes. Trump is saying that he is the victim of a coup. Trump is saying to stop the votes. Trump is levying lawsuits at these states. It's not you can't just a joke it anymore. This is really happening right now in reality. And to a large extent, we're being saved by the incompetence of the Trump administration. If the Trump administration was full of, savvy, effectual neocons, it's possible they might be able to get away with this. But they're not. The Trump administration is full of lunatic true believers who are so immune to reality that they will lick each other's fucking palms to spread COVID to one another, completely, apparently unconcerned with the legitimate threat they're posing to one another. They are true believers. They're incompetent, as all fascists are. And away with this, you're anti-American, you're anti-democracy, you're authoritarian. Never let them get away with it again, okay? Never once, okay? And we're going to keep talking about this. If I'm still around 4 years from now, you'll know that the past 4 years, for the whole Biden presidency. What do I mean? I don't know. Like if I get in a car accident or something, that can happen. I don't intend for that to happen. I'm trying to be, I don't like lying to you guys, okay? I don't know where I'm going to be in 4 years, all right? I don't know. Are you going to run for office, Vosh? For the 800th time, I will never run for office. I will never run for office. I am not anywhere near as fat-headed as Carl Benjamin. I will never subject real electoral politics to my presence, okay? It's not going to happen, okay? It's not going to happen. I am nowhere near that arrogant. Team, in spite of me being at least a little bit drunk, I think we kept that together pretty well. In fact, I would say that was a solid 9 out of 10 segment right there, in spite of my faculties. When is the next Georgia update coming? Does anyone have a timer on when the next update is going to be? Minutes? 9 minutes. We can wait for 9 minutes. We're going to wait. We're going to wait for the next Georgia update, and then we're going to look at the Trump press briefing, okay? We're going to look at the Trump press briefing, okay? That's what we're going to do. PA and GA still have me worried. TBH, can I get some hopium? Hold on, wait, really quickly. To everybody who's watching, how many people are watching right now? 22,000-ish, 21,000? Listen up, okay? I need to be perfectly clear about this, all right? The odds right now of us losing both PA Now, mind you, that is not me saying that it's impossible that we lose. But I want to be, by the way, it is just as irresponsible to delude you with pessimism as it is to delude you with optimism. A lot of people forget that. They think, oh, I don't want to be irresponsible. Let's just downplay all the chances of our victory. That's not the right solution. The solution is to be realistic, and realistically, I think we're going to win. This site has a relatively live counting. That's the one that I'm looking at. Yes, alex.github.io, New York Times 2020 election scraper. Yes, that's what I'm currently looking at. What are we at right now with PA? Let me see. Okay, hold on. Arizona, Alaska. Ago, the vote differential is now 24,484 votes, with about 300,000 remaining. Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you how favorable the math is. Okay? I'll explain to you. It lays it all out right here. So it's about 25,000 votes that Trump is ahead, and about 300,000 votes that have yet to be counted. That means that in order for Biden to overtake Trump, he would need to average about 54.25% of the votes that are coming in. Does that make sense? So of the votes that come in, 54.25% of them need to be Biden in order for Biden to overtake Trump. Right now, Biden is averaging 78.1% of the votes that come in. Biden only needs about 4.25% above par. He's getting 28.1% above par, roughly, on average. That's in Pennsylvania, where we are, and I need to be clear about this, virtually guaranteed to win. Over here in Georgia, we have about 1,800 vote differential, 9,000 votes remaining, though some people in chat have said we actually have about 15,000 remaining. Biden needs about 60% of the remaining votes to win. Biden is averaging 67%, and the remaining counties are very blue. Has Georgia gone down even further? It hasn't updated here yet. We'll see it updated soon. What about North Carolina? Don't worry about North Carolina. That's not going to happen. The math does not favor North Carolina. Also, we haven't gotten any updates from North Carolina recently. How about Arizona? Let's take a look at Arizona, huh? In Arizona, the most recent update we have is Biden holding a 46,000 vote lead with about 300,000 remaining. Right now, Trump is averaging about 56.6% of the remaining votes, and he needs 57.4%, meaning there is a legitimate chance of Trump winning Arizona, which doesn't mean shit if we win PA. I'll be here with you through the whole process. Why have some places called Arizona and some haven't? Nate Silver has argued that the calling of Arizona was irresponsible on the part of some news outlets. So, yeah. We're going to wait on that Georgia update. Vosh, can we hold hands? I am holding hands with all of you right now. Can't you feel it? Feel your right hand right now. That's me. I'm holding your hand right now, spiritually. Okay? We're all in this together. It's not lewd. It's solidarity. All right, whatever. Fucking weirdos. Hold on. While we're waiting on the next Georgia drop. What's on my nose? It's a cut from my cat. Vosh, should I ask out my crush? You should inform your crush that you have an interest in them. Yes, you should. Nothing comes from holding that back, okay? Trust me. Of all the friendships and relationships I have had, not yet once in my entire life have I ever seen a positive outcome from people bottling up their feelings, okay? Just don't do it in like a cringe way, okay? Yes, enable live updates. Thank you. That is a helpful addition. Hold on. What's the site? Can somebody link the site in chat? Speaking of burping, thank you. Thank you all. Bottles disappear so quickly. It's not champagne. It is wine, but it is fizzy wine. I don't know much about alcohol, so I can't. I can't impress you. All right. Wait, Vosh, I thought you couldn't drink. I couldn't until I found this alcohol, which allows me to drink. It's actually quite tasty. Vosh, raid this dude's stream. He's MAGA. What is this?
Donation. I just turned my speaker back on.
I was outside. They had to evacuate
Sorry to
the
interrupt you.
building, and they had to stop
I heard you yell black.
I'm not going to raid a stream with 45 people in it. What kind of savage do you take me for? You shouldn't raid people unless it's warranted, you know? Trump will run in 2024? No, he won't. He absolutely will not. There is no chance at all that Trump is going to win in 2024. Absolutely none. It's not going to happen. What he's probably going to do is say that he will, and then later conceive some conspiratorial excuse for why the deep state doesn't want him to. Speaking of,
We saw the president for the first time today in like 2 days, and he made a number of accusations that are not backed up by the facts.
Nora, in his first public remarks since election night, you're right. President Trump made several false statements attacking the integrity of the election, claiming that fraudulent voting would lead to it being stolen from him. There is no evidence of that. Mr. Trump also questioned why all the mail-in ballots seem to be, in his words, one-sided favoring Joe Biden. But remember, he spent several weeks urging his supporters not to vote by mail and to do it in person instead. Mr. Trump also said that all the officials overseeing the ballot counting in battleground states are part of a corrupt Democrat machine, even though the secretary...
Vosh, can you shout out the Georgia runoff elections so people can start donating? Chat spam him. What are you donating to the Georgia runoff elections? I don't know what you're referring to right now. Donating? Do we have a new update from PA? Oh, buddy. Buddy. From 9 minutes ago, the vote differential is now 24,000. Right here. Oh, the Senate runoffs? Oh, the Senate runoffs. Yeah. Of course. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that extensively. Of course we will. The Senate race. Yeah, okay. Be calm. Be kind to me. I'm waiting for that next Georgia update. Shouldn't we be waiting for that Georgia update like any second now? No, Hyena. I don't need another bottle of wine. That's okay. Refresh. It has live updates. Senator Casey of Pennsylvania says Biden will win PA by about 100,000 votes. That seems to be what we're looking at based on the available information. It sounds like it might be delayed. Delayed? Ooh. Clayton just reported less than 200 votes out of the 4,400 as left, so maybe don't expect the county to finish by midnight as expected. The batch went massively for Biden, who cuts his deficit in Georgia to under 1,700 votes. So the batch of 200 cuts it down to, okay, gotcha. Well, we're going to have to wait for a second then. Folks, do you guys want to look at the Trump press conference? If we do that, we're going to have to commit our attention to it for at least 20 to 30 minutes. Do you think we can do that? Can you be with me? Can you stick with me? I didn't watch it live. I didn't spoil myself. Let's give it a look, people. It's happening right now. Let's fucking go! President Trump discusses vote counting at the White House. Let's go.
Good evening. I'd like to provide the American people with an update on our efforts to protect the integrity of our very important 2020 election. If you count the legal votes, I easily win. If you count the illegal...
Okay, hold on. I can't talk over this guy because he's going to be a fucking riot. Hold on.
The legal votes, I easily win.
The
illegal votes, they can try to steal the election from us.
If they count only the legal votes, I win. But if they count the fake, undocumented votes, maybe some people say they can win, maybe.
Count the votes that came in late. We're looking at them very strongly, but a lot of votes late. But a lot of votes came in late. I've already decisively won many critical states, including massive victories in Florida, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio. To name just a few, we won these and many other
Damn, dude, you won Ohio as a Republican? That's crazy, dude. Dude, you got Indiana? That's amazing. You should brag about your fucking Kansas victory, dude. Dude, did Alabama go red? Dude, that's all on you.
Despite historic election interference from big media, big money, and big tech. As every
Big money. I love big money. Like, this guy didn't fucking, as a billionaire, fund part of his own campaign. Historic interference. What interference?
everybody saw, we won by historic numbers.
Historic.
And the pollsters got it knowingly wrong. They got it knowingly wrong.
Knowingly
We had
wrong.
Polls that were so ridiculous, and everybody knew it at the time. There was no blue wave that they predicted. They thought there was going to be a big blue wave. That was false. It was done for.
He's got us on that one. Everyone take a moment of silence, okay? Okay, back at it.
Suppression reasons, but instead there was a big red wave.
Red wave. Except
And
you
it's
lost.
been properly acknowledged, actually, by the media. They were, I think, very impressed, but that was after the fact. That doesn't do us any good. We kept the Senate having twice as many seats to defend as Democrats, and in a really much more.
Wait, if he's just going to make fun of us for our poor down ballot performance, I'm gonna cry, okay? I can't do this. I'm drunk. I can't do it, okay? I get it. We did poorly in the House and Senate, okay? But you lost the fucking presidency, my dude. You came up here to cope. This is a fucking cope conference, okay? This is a fucking press coperance, all right? You came up here, you wiped your little fucking baby tears off your cheeks, okay? You applied a fresh fucking spray paint thing, tan, and you came up here and you're about to explain to the country how actually, despite all available evidence, you actually aren't losing the election right now.
More competitive states. We did a fantastic job with the Senate. I think we're very proud of what's happened there. We had many more seats to defend. They spent almost $200 million on Senate races in South Carolina and Kentucky alone.
He's getting
2
me.
races and hundreds of millions of dollars overall.
He's
against
getting
us
me.
at the national
Oh
level.
my God, somebody in chat said it. They're totally right. Dude, his hair looks like it was photoshopped with the fucking blur tool. Fucking get your shitty ass fucking gecko drawing that I did myself out of the way. Get out. Get out. Out. Look at that. Look at that. It looks like, that's insane. That looks like post-processing, but that's live, baby. Dude, all of the vain fucking 50-plus TV actresses and newscasters who curse the advent of HGTV because it shows their skin pores, I bet they wish they had the technology that President Trump is applying to his fucking toupee, you know? I bet they wish they could blur themselves, just fucking, they're fucking opaque, frosted glass suits they could walk around behind.
Our opponents' major donors were Wall Street bankers and special interests. Our major donors were police officers, farmers, everyday citizens. Yet for the first time ever, we lost 0 races in the House. I was talking to Kevin McCarthy.
Wait, what does that mean, lost 0 races in the House? Thank you, babe. Lost 0. Wait, he won every... Does he mean he didn't lose any races that he expected he was going to win? This seems like a very arbitrary classification. Hey, shoe on head, you stupid piece of shit. Lemon curd bagels. They're delicious. Fuck you.
McCarthy today, he said he couldn't believe it. 0 races, very unusual thing, 0. And actually won many new seats with, I think, many more on the way. This was also the year of the Republican woman.
What?
More Republican women were elected to Congress than ever before. That's a great achievement. I won the largest share of non-white voters of any Republican in 60 years, including historic numbers of Latino, African American, Asian American, and Native American voters, the largest ever in our history.
I don't know if he means the history of the Republican Party, because no, that's not true. But yeah, we'll break down the demographics more in the future. There's a lot of really interesting info there with regards to like who voted which way and stuff, you know?
We grew our party by 4 million voters, the greatest turnout in Republican
How many for
Party
Democrats?
history. Democrats are the party of the big donors, the big media, the big tech, it seems, and Republicans have become the party of the American worker, and that's what's happened.
Conservatism is the new
And
punk
we're also,
rock.
I believe, the party of inclusion. As everyone now recognizes, media polling was election interference in the truest sense of that word by powerful special interests.
Dude, Trump is exactly like Scott Pilgrim. That's how punk and anti-establishment he is, okay? Donald Trump is over there in fucking DC fighting for fucking bus change with colorfully dressed queer people. He's so fucking punk rock, bro. He's so anti-establishment. He even has the underage girl part down. True!
These really phony polls, I have to call them phony polls, fake polls, were designed to keep our voters
Phony
at home,
polls.
create the illusion of momentum for Mr. Biden and diminish Republicans' ability to raise funds. They were what's called suppression polls. Everyone knows that now. And it's never been used to the extent that it's been used on this last election.
So here are two mutually incompatible narratives, okay? Fuck me. Lemon curd is so good. Here are some mutually exclusive beliefs, okay? First of all, that Donald Trump had historic turnout and added millions new people to the Republican Party. And second of all, that the mainstream media, big tech, and big money conspired to produce suppression polls deliberately designed to depress Republican turnout. You can't believe both. You can't claim you're the victim of an overwhelmingly powerful conspiracy to keep Trump supporters from going out and then brag about how you all went out in record numbers, okay? That, my friend, is what we call doing a fascism. Sorry, folks. That's what it is. Your enemy must be simultaneously weak and overwhelming, okay? That's how it is. Well, that's not how it is. That's how he's saying it is. New PA update. We're focusing on this, dipshits. We'll get to that in a sec.
To highlight just a few examples, the day before election, Quinnipiac, which was wrong on every
Is he going to call Nate Silver out
had
personally?
Joe Biden up by 5 points in Florida.
Call Nate Silver out. Do it.
And they were off by 8.4 points. And I won Florida easily. So they had me losing Florida by
This little guy, Nate Silver. They call him Nate Silver. I call him Nate Bronze. They call him real smart guy with the numbers. Personally, don't think he's too good at math. Maybe he should go back to elementary school.
lot, and I ended up winning Florida by a lot. Other than that, they were very accurate. They had him up 4 points in Ohio, and they were up by 12.2 points. And they also won Ohio, great state of Ohio, very easily. And the Washington Post said Biden up 17 points in Wisconsin, and it was basically
17?
even. They were up by about 17 points, and they knew that.
No, Mr. Trump. I don't know what poll you're referring to, 17 up in Wisconsin. They were off by 16 points, motherfucker. Wisconsin went blue, you dumb fuck. There was a plus 17 poll, then that poll was 16 off, not 17 off. It was 16 off.
Good people, they knew that. Suppression. There are now only a few states yet to be decided in the presidential race. The voting apparatus of those states are run in all cases by Democrats. We were winning in all the key locations by a lot, actually. And then our numbers started miraculously getting whittled away.
Miraculously.
In secret.
In secret.
And
in the dark of night.
Allow legally permissible observers. We went to court. Got there.
Nope, that's not true. You got one successful lawsuit in an area where you already had Republican observers inside of the counting place, and your only concession was that they get to be closer. Rather than being 20 feet away, they got to be 6 feet away. There were already Republican ballot watchers, poll watchers in all of these counting locations. Okay, all you did was you got them to move a little bit closer. They were already there. This is all above board.
They wanted them 60, 70 feet away, 80 feet, 100 feet away, or outside the building to observe.
100 feet away? The Republican poll watchers, they were putting them in the next building over. They said, Democrats, you can be right next to the count. Republicans, you need to go to the office building across the street and view it through the 75th window with binoculars. What the fuck are you talking about? 100 feet away? Are you fucking dude, these aren't fucking amphitheaters.
People inside the building. And we won a case, a big case, and we have others happening. There are lots of litigation, even beyond our litigation. There's tremendous amount of litigation generally because of how unfair this process was.
Tiny
and I predicted
windows.
that. I've been talking.
That's why they want the Green New Deal, the tiny windows. So when the Republican poll watchers are sent to the office building across the street, they can't all look through the windows. They're too small. They're too little. They can't look through.
Talking about mail-in voting for a long time. It's really destroyed our system. It's a corrupt system, and it makes people corrupt even if they aren't by nature.
Oh.
But they become corrupt.
Damn,
it's too
that's
easy.
deep.
They want to find out how many the votes they need, and then they seem to be able to find them. They wait, and then they find them. And you see that on election night. We were ahead in vote in North Carolina by a lot, tremendous number of votes. And we're still ahead by a lot, but not as many because they're finding ballots.
What the fuck is this story? Hey, you take a look at North Carolina. It's the craziest shit, okay? We were ahead, and then you blink, and we're still ahead, but I don't know, not by as much. I don't know.
Ballots all of a sudden. Oh, we have some mail-in ballots. It's amazing how those mail-in ballots are so one-sided, too. I know that it's supposed to be to the advantage of the Democrats, but in all cases, they're so one-sided. We were up by nearly 700,000 votes in Pennsylvania. I won Pennsylvania by a lot. And that gets whittled down to...
Whittled down.
I think they said now we're up by 90,000 votes, and they'll keep coming and coming and coming.
90,000. Now you're up by like 20,000, bro. Oops. What happened? They got whittled away even further.
Find them all over. And they don't want us to have any observers.
Dude, you have observers in all these fucking locations, okay? You have the observers. You just don't, by observers, you mean heavily armed militiamen who dropped out of high school, okay? And whose only experience with fucking politics or statistical analysis is when they had to fucking price out whether it was more expensive to buy fucking an ounce or fucking 2 dime bags, okay? That's the, you don't want poll watchers in there, okay? You want fucking cretins with ARs, okay?
We won a court case. The judge said you have to have observers. Likewise in Georgia, and they're appealing. Actually, they're appealing. We won a case that we want people to watch, and we want observers, and they're actually appealing, which is sort of interesting. I wonder why they'd appeal. That all we want to do is have people watch as they do the vote tabulations. Likewise in Georgia, I won by a lot, with a lead of over getting close to 300,000 votes on election night in Georgia. Yeah. And by the way, got whittled down. And now it's getting to be to a point where I'll go from winning by a lot to perhaps being even down a little bit. In Georgia, a pipe burst in a faraway location, totally unrelated to the location.
I love this. He has such a fucking ego that even when he's complaining about him losing due to a fraud, he can't say he's losing, you know? Even when he's up here doing this press conference specifically to accuse the Democrats of rigging the election, he still can't actually admit that he's losing. He can't do it. He can't do it. He has to go up there and to say, well, you know, I was winning very bigly and now I'm winning less. I'm winning smaller. Am I losing? No, some people, maybe they say I'm losing. But I'm not losing. Not really, of course.
Of what was happening, and they stopped counting for 4 hours, and a lot of things happened. The election apparatus in Georgia.
Hyena, when you're ready, you can bring the second bottle. Thank you.
Georgia is run by Democrats. We also had margins of 300,000. And Michigan, we're way up in Michigan, won the state. And in Wisconsin, we did likewise fantastically well. And that got whittled down. In every case, they got whittled down. Today, we're on track to win Arizona. We only need to carry, I guess, 55% of the remaining vote, 55%.
Yeah, I'm sure, Hyena. Go for it.
Margins, and that's a margin that we've significantly exceeded. So we'll see what happens with that, but we're on track to do okay in Arizona. Our goal is to defend the integrity of the election. We'll not allow the corruption to steal such an important election, or any election for that matter. And we can't allow anybody to silence our voters and manufacture results. I've been doing.
We can't allow anyone to silence our voters, which is why, by executive order, I am now making it illegal to count any more votes in Georgia or in Pennsylvania. Nevada and Arizona, you both are good. You can both keep counting.
A lot of public things for a long time. I've never had anything that's been as inspirational, by people calling, talking, sending things to us. I've never seen such love and such affection and such spirit as I've seen for this. People know what's happening, and they see what's happening, and it's before their eyes. And there are many instances which will be reported very shortly. There's tremendous litigation going on, and this is a case where they're trying to steal an election. They're trying to rig an election, and we can't let that happen. Detroit and Philadelphia, known as two of the most corrupt political places anywhere in our country, easily cannot be responsible for engineering the outcome.
These low IQ, these high crime, low IQ, non-suburban cities, you know what types of people are there. They're cheats. They're cheats. They're not going to let me win. They don't want me to win, folks. They don't want me to win. I'll take away their welfare. Dude, like, unironically, though, like, this motherfucker, even when this guy's, like, not intentionally dog whistling, this guy leans in so fucking hard.
Outcome of a presidential race, a very important presidential race. In Pennsylvania, Democrats have gone to the state Supreme Court to try and ban our election observers, and very strongly. Now, we won the case, but they're going forward. They don't want anybody in there. They don't want anybody watching them as they count the ballots.
Nope. Also, nope. Poll watchers are allowed. Okay. Listen. At these poll counting locations, there is a very specific and strict operational procedure for ensuring the fair observation of vote counting, okay? What you usually have is a specific designation of partisan vote counter or poll watchers, and then an independent group as well. And they have to stand a specific distance away from the actual process of the vote counting, and it's all very above board, and it's all very deliberate. And again, what Trump is complaining about here is not that Republican lawyers aren't let in as the official process, as part of the official process. What he's complaining about is that fucking QAnoners that are outside pissing their name into the fucking sand are not being allowed to barge in through the doors and personally fucking breathe down the necks of the Maricopa poll counters, okay? New update on GA? All right, we'll take a look. In GA, Joe Biden now has twice as many votes as half the votes for Donald Trump. What? Hold on. Is there an actual update, or are you just wasting my time? I suspect my time has been wasted. If I remembered who the person was who did that, I would have them killed. Let's get back to it.
And I can't imagine why there's absolutely no legitimate reason
in Minecraft
why they would not want to have people watching this process, because if it's straight, they should be proud of it. Instead,
wait, what?
If it's straight, they should be proud of it. And
nobody should be proud of being straight, Mr. Trump.
Instead, they're trying, obviously, to commit fraud. There's no question about that. In Philadelphia, observers have been kept far away, very far away, so far that people are using binoculars to try and see, and there's been tremendous...
He's doing the meme! He's doing the fucking meme that I said! Binoculars? They're in the they say they kept them out in the parking lot. Thanks, babe.
Be careful, honey.
Thank you for the Madeleines. Huh? Yes. Okay, we'll drink water. They have to use binoculars in one county. In one county in Pennsylvania, they only gave the Trump poll watchers microfilms of the ballots, and they had to observe the results with a little magnifying glass at the end of a keychain. One set of Republican poll watchers was kept in an adjacent town using nothing but smoke signals to relay results. Smoke, it's very inaccurate, people.
Problems caused. They put paper on all of the windows so you can't see in, and the people that are banned are very unhappy and become somewhat...
People outside couldn't see in. On the inside, the place every Republican is talking about, where they said they had the fucking paper boarding up the windows, that was to keep the people on the outside from looking in. There were already Republican poll watchers in the location. They were already there, the legal amount equal to the Democrats. They just didn't want fucking Joe dipshit who drove to fucking Philadelphia in a pickup truck with 6 fucking racks of ammunition stuffed under the seat to fucking like a little fucking orphan boy licking the window of a fucking candy shop, staring down the necks of these fucking poll workers.
What violent. The 11th Circuit ruled that in Georgia...
Hold on, wait. Sorry, the drinking process is still difficult for me, okay? I'm working on it. I can't listen while I'm... Hold on. Go. All right, we're good. Okay. Okay. Oh, and to all the fucking moms and dads in chat, holy shit, I'm fine, okay? Chill the fuck out.
The votes have been in by Election Day, that they should be in by Election Day, and they weren't. Votes are coming in after Election Day. And they had a ruling already that you have to have the votes in by Election Day. To the best of my knowledge, votes should be in by Election Day.
Nope, that's not the law.
And they didn't do that. Democrat officials never believed they could win this election honestly. I really believe that. That's why they did the mail-in ballots, where there's tremendous corruption and fraud going on. That's why they mailed out tens of millions of unsolicited ballots without any verification measures whatsoever.
There is absolutely no evidence to suggest that unsolicited ballots have a higher rate of fraud than solicited ballots. The rate of fraud is nil. Do you know how vote counting works? This is how vote counting works, okay? When the ballot arrives at the counting place, they use the information on the ballot to check against a database of eligible voters in that area. If there are 2 votes cast for one individual, that's a crime. The second one doesn't get counted. And if there's an ineligible vote that is turned in, whether that ballot was solicited or unsolicited, the likelihood of it being turned away is equal in both cases.
And I've told everybody that these things would happen. because I've seen it happen. I watched a lot of different elections before they decided to go with this big, massive election with tens of millions of ballots going out to everybody, in many cases totally unsolicited. This was unprecedented.
Before, nobody's ever seen an election this big. We've seen lots of little elections. We've seen lots of lots of the miniature elections, but this big one, this is new. We didn't know how to prepare for this one.
In American history, this was by design. Despite years of claiming to care about the election security, they refused to include any requirement to verify signatures, identities, or even determine whether they're eligible or ineligible to vote. People are walking in there.
That's
They
why
have no
they
idea.
check
They're
at
just
the
taking
fucking polling place.
the numbers. They're writing down things, the workers, and doing a lot of bad things. And we have a lot of information coming and litigation that you'll see that will shake even you people up, and you've seen it all. The officials.
Listen, he's on his way out, so I think that while Trump is on his way out, we should appreciate some of the characteristics that makes him special, okay? And the thing that we need to really, really pay homage to is the fact that Trump is a fucking moron. Every time Trump says anything about anything, he comes off like a fucking idiot. He can never say anything that denotes any degree of special knowledge or awareness. Listen to him talk, okay?
Over no idea. They're just taking the numbers. They're writing down things, the workers, and doing a lot of bad things. And we have a lot of information coming and litigation that you'll see that will shake even you people up. And you've seen.
Listen, if I was a fucking 4th grade teacher and a kid talked to me this way, I would be really worried, okay? I would start talking to the administration and the teachers to ask if there was like a possibility of some abuse at home that was like impairing their social functioning or something. This is an insane level of like communicative inability. It's unfucking believable, okay? I am smashed right now, and I am more capable. I'm not a fucking president. Donald Trump was a businessman and then a reality TV show host. He should be more capable of being charismatic than anybody else. It was his fucking job to be charismatic. That was his fucking job. And he comes off every time he says anything about anything. He sounds like an imbecile. He sounds like a fucking moron. I'm going to miss that about him, okay? He's special. He's not like the other Republicans. The other Republicans, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Dan Crenshaw, they're all stupid in their own way. But at least all of them sound like they could pass an 8th grade English test, Trump is special. He's a special little boy, like he's been since for his whole life, since his birth, okay? He's a special little boy. He's a special little baby boy with special cognition, and I love him for it.
All the officials overseeing the counting in Pennsylvania and other key states are all part of a corrupt Democrat machine that you've written about, and for a long time you've been writing about the corrupt Democrat machine. I went to school there, and I know a lot about it. It hasn't changed. It's a long time ago, and hasn't changed. It's gotten worse. In Pennsylvania, partisan Democrats have allowed ballots in the state to be received 3 days after the election, and we think much more than that.
Yeah, that has been state law for a while. You can look that up. It's the law. It's there. You can look at it. It's real. It's there. Yeah, it hasn't changed for a very long time. Now, mind you, they accept those ballots, but only if they're postmarked by the day of the election. Okay, sorry, I can't listen to him while I'm taking a chug. Hold on.
And they're counting those without even postmarks or any identification
That's
whatsoever.
not true.
So you don't have postmarks, you don't have identification.
Nope. They specifically say they only accept ballots that are postmarked by the day of the election.
There have been a number of disturbing irregularities across the nation. Our campaign has been denied access to observe any counting in Detroit. Detroit is another place, and I wouldn't say has the best reputation for election integrity.
What?
Poll workers.
What does that mean? Somebody explain to me what that means. Detroit doesn't have the best reputation for electoral integrity? Does Detroit have some sort of history of like rigged elections or something? Or does it mean black people? Okay, it means fucking black people. Okay, you know, the people in Detroit, you know, I'm listening. I've been to Detroit, you know, they're very fine people, except I don't know, there's something about the people in Detroit. There's just they're very bad with numbers. They're very shifty, you know, they don't like me very much in Detroit.
In Michigan were duplicating ballots, but when our observers attempted to challenge the activity, those poll workers jumped in front of the volunteers to block their view so that they couldn't see what they were doing.
The volunteers you're referring to were random fucking protesters, not officiated poll watchers. You don't get to you can't complain about that, dude. This is a delicate electoral process. Can you? Oh my fucking god! I'm gonna. Oh, dude. Can you imagine any other fucking federal process or any other government function where like the president is bitching that random fucking supporters of his aren't allowed to storm the fucking offices? What is even comparable to this? I'm trying to like, you know what this is like? You know what this would be like? Okay, I want you to astral project with me, okay? I want you to unlock your innermost chakra, and I want you to astral project with me, okay? It's 2022, okay? Biden was lying the entire time. He's a fucking Marxist. Biden is a fucking Marxist. He was the entire time. He swears into the presidency on a copy of Das Kapital, okay? All right? And he's out here for the working man, okay? It's 2022, and a bunch of fucking Biden supporters, a bunch of comrades, storm the ICE detention centers at the border. And they fight with the guards. And Biden, he goes up to a press conference and he says, I'm not even going to try a Biden impression. And he says, these lousy guards, they're not even letting these ICE detention facility volunteers in. The difference between my example and what Trump is doing is that what I just described is based and red-pilled. And what Trump is doing right now is cringe, unpog, and weird champ, which is not good. It's not as good. Okay, that's the main difference, all right? What I described, Marxist Joe Biden, it's very good. It's not bad.
And it became a little bit dangerous. One major hub for counting ballots in Detroit covered up the windows again with large pieces of cardboard. And so they wanted to protect and block the counting area. They didn't want anybody seeing the counting, even though these were observers who were legal observers that were supposed to be there. In Detroit, there were hours of unexplained delay in delivering many of the votes for counting.
All of those delays were completely explained. They were literally giving minute-by-minute updates on the delays. They were pretty fucking transparent about the entire process.
The final batch did not arrive until 4 in the morning, and even though the polls closed at 8 o'clock, so they brought it in, and the batches came in, and nobody knew where they came from.
Yes, they did. You can check where they came from. It is not a fucking secret where they came from. It just because it arrives at nighttime doesn't mean it's some sort of fucking covert operation. That's the argument he's making right now. He's literally just saying it happened at night. It must have been some sort of, we don't know what was going on. We don't know where those ballots came from. Bro, just because something takes place while the sun is at the opposite side of the planet doesn't mean that it's a fucking mystery operation. They just wanted to get the fucking ballots over, okay?
So been denied access to observe in critical places in Georgia. In multiple swing states, counting was halted for hours and hours on election night, with results withheld from major Democrat-run locations only to appear later. And they suddenly appeared, and they all had the name Biden on them, or just about all. I think almost all. They all had the name Biden on them.
Damn, dude, that's crazy when you spend months telling all your supporters not to vote by mail-in and then delegitimize mail-in ballots and then tell all your supporters to vote in person so you can only delegitimize Biden voters, and then the mail-in ballots come in anyway because it's a legal process and it turns out they're all Biden voters. That's so crazy, dude. Dude, that's fucking insane, bro. I can't believe that got you like that, dude. I can't believe that. That's so wiggity whack, the way they fucking kickflip that on you.
Which is a little strange. I challenge Joe and every Democrat to clarify that they only want legal votes, because they talk about votes, and I think they should use the word legal.
For this election.
We want every legal vote counted, and I want every legal vote counted. We want openness and transparency, no secret count rooms, no mystery ballots. No.
What secret count rooms? What the fuck does that mean? You go right now. They say you can go into Detroit. You can go. It's all Biden votes back there. You go.
This country is going to win. That's the way the
Stop the steal, MAGA thread 2. There's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline tagged right there on the right. You know, just to keep folks, keep folks around.